Josh Robbins, The Athletic.
Steve, how is Evan's back progressing? We know he's not playing tonight.
Relatively slowly, actually. I think, I don't think Wednesday will be a possibility either. It's like his lower back and it's tough. And I think maybe flying around some too, because he's such a great worker. And as you know, he plays through pain. So, I think we're hoping for, maybe Friday, Saturday, or even next Monday in New York, maybe.
Are there concerns that these spasms originate from a somewhat serious injury?
I don't. I don't sense that.
Dan Savage, OrlandoMagic.com.
Cliff, your team plays DJ Augustin for the first time since he joined the Bucks. What did he mean to this franchise during your tenure coaching him here in Orlando?
Oh, well, in my 21 years for me, he's one of the favorite guys I've ever coached, and he brought a ton of experience, a love of the game, a work ethic, and he was, obviously it was a big leadership role on our team. So it's when that call, those calls when people leave are never easy, and that was. I was happy for him, but that was a difficult conversation.
Eric Neem.
Hey, Steve, when you look at this Bucks offense this year, Bud decided to throw somebody in the dunker spot pretty much every offense possession. How does that kind of change things for what they do and, how you guard them?
Yeah, well, it changes things in your protection. I think what they do well, they have a lot of movement, interchangeable parts type offense, which is unique to our league. But then, they have their things they go to. And I think the thing that's overlooked is just their combination of pick and rolls. And then by putting somebody down in the dunker, it changes the protection spots, so it changes who's responsible for the role, how you're going to get to the corners. And especially in a season like this where, you don't get 2 days to adjust, it's a different thing. You come in and you try to do it and shoot around. And it's a challenge.
Jim Ozarski, Milwaukee Journal Sentinel.
Hey, Steve, well, you mentioned the combination of pick and rolls and DJ Augustin. When he's in with Drew Holiday and Giannis is initiating, you've got some smaller maybe pick and roll, some interesting off-ball looks. What have you seen with that? And obviously, knowing DJ so well, kind of sets them up for some different looks, I guess, in a lot of those instances where they're off the ball.
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of things about, again, the utilization on Bud's part, and then also it's still the other part that makes them different is it's the Lopez Portis factor. So a lot of those second pick and rolls when they're just moving the ball, it can be DJ with Giannis. They do a lot of perimeter to perimeter. But again, your protection is challenged more because they usually have Lopez or Portis spotted, in the corners. And on most nights with most teams, those are perimeter players or maybe a 4-man, but it's, having like Holiday, DJ, they get to second pick and rolls. Their ball movement is terrific, and they have a lot of ways to put pressure on your defense.
Alex Fleming.
How you doing, Coach?
Good, Alex.
You guys are 12-1 against the Milwaukee Bucks the last 2 years. They swept you guys in 2018-19, and then 19-20 you played them 9 times. They got 8 of those. What's the mentality of the team knowing that the MVP is in the building and you guys need to beat them?
Nah, I think actually, although we're going to be very shorthanded tonight, I think our guys have a good confidence level. They beat us badly during the regular season last year, but in the playoff series, we played very well against them. And they're a great team. You have to be at your best at both ends of the floor. But the playoff series, I think, gave the guys that are returning an understanding of, what we'd have to do to give ourselves a chance.
Josh Robbins.
You mentioned something interesting to David Steele before the prior game about slowing the pace down now that Markelle is out for the season. What was the rationale? What's the rationale behind that? Is it to save Cole's legs? Is it simply that you'll be less effective at a fast pace without Markelle?
Yeah, I mean, like to me, Markelle is I mean, there's a lot that goes into it. It's not necessarily Cole driven at all. It's probably more so when Cole's not in the game. But one of the things that's been happening is the running after makes, frankly, is that's when our worst sequences of shot selection have come in. And Markelle is such a good organizer that, I think that's something that we could have developed. I think there's so many things right now that we have to look at where we're playing, Cole at the point. And then, what, the Aaron Gordon stuff at the point was actually, there are a lot of really good things we can build on, but we don't need the added aspect of those random possessions. It was actually not going very well, to be honest with you. And I think our returning guys have more of a comfort level of just getting into sets.
Dan Savage.
Cliff, when we last spoke, we talked about defending the high pick and roll and the team's perimeter defense against a Milwaukee team that's so effective shooting the three. How much of a focus was that in shoot around, and how important is it tonight?
Yeah, I mean, it's important every night. I mean, these guys are 5 out, and again, the thing that they do differently than, I mean, everybody's kind of copied it to a certain degree, but they're totally interchangeable. Bud's gone from taking some things from San Antonio where the 4 and the 5 weren't interchangeable. That's what he did in Atlanta. And then when he went to Milwaukee, all 5 guys are interchangeable. So what they do is they force like the 5-man in particular, to play help defense for a large part of the game in positions that they won't have to do at any other time against any other team. So that's difficult enough. And then obviously it's just, the Giannis factor, where they have great shooting on the floor, but there can be no room for him. If there's any gap at all there, he's going to crack it, and he's at the rim. So, I think it's their schemes, their overall skill level. And then, obviously he's a phenomenal penetrator.
Chris Hayes.
Hey, Cliff, good to see you.
You too, Chris.
I was just wondering, what was it like preparing for DJ? Was it kind of weird? Does it give you a upper hand in preparation because you know him?
You know what? I think it's always different. When you get ready for guys that you've coached and everything like that. And, he fits in so well to me with how they play. And he's playing at a high level. And the same thing, we're gonna, you have to be able to handle him in a pick and roll. He's a very good pick and roll player. And our coverages are going to have to be clean when he's involved.
Thanks.
Josh Robbins.
Steve, what was the thinking behind the medical staff sitting James tonight?
Well, he's actually now he's questionable. He's going to try to play. He's going to go out and do his normal routine and see how he feels. So that one's not he's not definitely out.
Was he feeling any discomfort heading into this afternoon?
Yeah, I think he feels, what, Josh, has been one of those things. This morning he felt pretty good. Then, then it wasn't as good. It's a tricky one because, hamstrings. And I think that, I just think he wants to be careful with it. And then I think he got back here and did some stuff and got loose. And now I think he's more leaning towards, trying to give it a shot. His minutes will be limited. But he's going to go out before, like I said, and we'll know whatever in a few minutes.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.